Today, we are pulling back the curtain on something we've all done, the all-nighter. And a fascinating new study reveals the hidden and, frankly, kind of shocking cost of skipping just one night of sleep. Okay, let's dive right in. We've all been there, right? Fueled by coffee, staring down a deadline, telling ourselves it's just for one night. I mean, sure, we all know we feel foggy, we're a little forgetful, definitely not our sharpest. But it turns out there's a much more specific and really surprising process going on inside our heads. It's not just about being tired. Ah, yes, we've all said it. We treat sleep like it's a bank account that we can just overdraw now and top up later. But what if I told you the science says that's a total myth? That some things, once you lose them to a sleepless night, might actually be gone for good. To really get what's happening, we need to meet a key player in your brain. Let's imagine for a second how your memory is supposed to work. So meet the hippocampus. You can think of it as your brain's own diligent, hardworking memory librarian. All day long, it's taking in everything you experience. But its most important job, well, that happens on the night shift. This nightly replay, which scientists call memory consolidation, is absolutely critical. It's the difference between remembering something for 5 minutes and being able to recall it weeks or even years later. No replay, no long-term memory. It's really that simple. So how in the world did scientists figure out what happens when our little librarian is forced to pull an all-nighter right there with us? Well, in this brilliant study, they tracked the brain activity of rats with incredible detail. After the rats learned their way through a new maze, one group got to sleep like normal. The other group, well, they were kept awake. It was basically the rat equivalent of an all-nighter. Now, here's what's so cool about how they measured this. Scientists can actually see the memory filing process by looking for specific brain waves called sharp wave ripples, or SWRs. You can literally think of these as the sound of the librarian stamping and filing away the day's memories. They're the signal that the work is getting done. And this is where they found the first big clue. In the rested brains, the librarian works hard, and then the activity quiets down as the job gets finished. But in the sleep-deprived brain, the librarian isn't quiet at all. In fact, those SWRs, the sounds of activity, were off the charts all night long. The brain was frantically busy. And this, right here, this leads us to the biggest, most counterintuitive discovery of the whole study. This is the plot twist. I mean, it just makes sense, doesn't it? If you're exhausted, your brain should be less active. A tired brain ought to be a quiet brain. Yeah, no, the data showed the complete opposite. The tired brain isn't quiet. It's buzzing with noise. But here's the kicker. There's a huge disconnect between all that activity and any actual useful work being done. This is the absolute core of the finding. The sleep-deprived brains were firing off a ton of these sharp wave ripple events. All the noise and signals of memory filing were there. But when the scientists looked inside those signals, the actual replay of the new maze experience, it was practically gone. In some cases, completely abolished. So the researchers put it perfectly. There's a dissociation. It's like our memory librarian is running around a library all night long, slamming books on the counter, shuffling papers, making a ton of noise. But almost nothing is actually getting filed on the shelves. It's all activity with zero accomplishment. Okay, so what about that promise we all make to ourselves, the whole catching up on sleep thing? Can our librarian just come in the next night and fix the mess? Well, the research reveals a pretty harsh truth about trying to get those memories back. It really seems that for memory, tomorrow is not another day. And the data on that recovery sleep is just so telling. Even after the sleep-deprived rats were finally allowed to rest, their memory replay just couldn't bounce back. It never got close to the levels of the rats that slept normally. They only recovered a tiny fraction of the function. What this suggests is that the brain has this critical, super time-sensitive window to file away the day's events. And if you miss that window by staying awake, it seems you can't just reopen it later. The damage isn't temporary, it's a lasting hit to the memories you made that day. So what does all this mean for us? You know, in our busy, often sleep-deprived lives, as we're studying for an exam or pushing to finish a project. So let's just put it all together. Sleep isn't just passive rest. It's an active, essential job. Pulling an all-nighter sends your brain's memory library into a total frenzy of busy but pretty much useless work. And the biggest takeaway? You can't just catch up on that lost filing time. The learning from that day could just be gone. And that really leaves us with a final, pretty profound thought. We usually think of an all-nighter as trading a little bit of alertness for more productivity. But this research suggests the price is much, much higher. We're not just losing focus. We might be losing the very experiences and knowledge that actually shape who we are. Something to think about next time you're reaching for that midnight coffee.